Good evening and a very welcome all our viewers, listeners, extended family of Untitled Chapter. Today would give us immense pleasure to new heart to the conversation. Relationship, satisfaction, and the life and the experience. Dedicated working all through the year, most cultures platform. Everybody goes we are celebrating poetry and their anniversary week, where we would be presenting English poetry. Though English poetry is still at its teething stage rather, but we are definitely going to take it a notch further. And today, our esteemed guests for the poetry session are Mrs. Sarmishta Mukherjee, who is a very pretty face, a true soul, and listening to her poetry is like a symphony in its own. And it is very difficult to define her. She is so warm in her smile, so beautiful in her expression. And when beautiful thoughts, beautiful words find a beautiful voice, it all becomes a symphony. And we are proud to be associated with Sarmisha ma'am and Suja ma'am, Sujata Ramanathan, who comes from all the way from Bangalore, who has been, we are privileged enough to be with her in her company and will be audience to some wonderful poetry. Surabhi ma'am is unable to join as of now, but definitely in a minute or two she will be with us, and we would be really happy if she is with us on board and can hear just some wonderful poetry. So let me introduce our esteemed guest for tonight. We have Sarmishta Mukherjee ma'am. She is an author of a little book of emotions called Paradise at My Shore. She is Amazon's best-selling co-author and has three anthologies, including one international to her credit. An artist and a keen photographer, creativity has always captured her imagination. Animal care is her favorite pursuit, with a rich experience in the corporate world for over 2 decades. Sarmishra Ma'am is a qualified educator for children and young adults. We welcome you aboard on behalf of entire Kaveh Corner team. Sarmishta ma'am, we are proud and privileged to have you here. And I hope this poetry session takes us this relationship a long way. And very good evening, ma'am. And with few words, I would, yes, ma'am, because this warmth of your smile just captures my mind and my attention as well. So, ma'am, over to you for your poetry. Ma'am, you are not audible. I'm afraid we cannot hear you.
1 second. Oh, okay. Can you hear me now? Can you
Yes,
hear me? All
yes,
right.
ma'am.
Okay. I must thank everyone here, who's present today. And I'm so proud to be sharing the platform with Suja and Nidhi. And I just hope my utmost prayers that even Survi can join in, because I'm
Definitely.
really looking forward to hear poetry from her also. And I must thank Pooja for this wonderful, great platform she has provided us for. And well, I have selected three poems for the evening. So I don't know how much time, Nidhi, you're going to give us. So I selected three, and the first one, which I would like to recite, is on nature.
Definitely. Please go ahead.
So,
Yes,
okay. So nature, it's closest to my heart. Nature compels you to travel. That's something I always feel. And as you travel, your horizon widens and your soul blossoms.
Absolutely.
So, this is what I always feel about traveling. And I have selected this poem of mine, which I wrote. It's called the Famway. Now, it's a German word which means wanderlust. So, I'll
Yes.
just read out the poetry here. Far sickness, as it's called, a wonderful way to be. The yearning for places far off, the need to go and see, the desire that drives you on, the last doesn't let you rest. The travel across the continents, solivagant is often the best. The hills, the plains, the beaches, numinous they are all. The sonder you feel, selkouts they are. The hodophile loves it all. Wanderlust is the seeker, the passion will forever be. Rest a while, travel again, farm way to set you free.
Oh, beautiful,
So traveling really, upraise your soul and
beautiful, beautifully depicted.
thank you
Right.
so much. Yeah.
Now, this is another beautiful insight.
Should I go on?
Yes, please. Yes.
Okay, the next poem.
Yes,
You want me
please.
to recite the next poem?
Next one. Next one.
Okay, sure, sure. Now, the next poem is on empathy.
Oh,
Now, this is something which we need so much in today's world. And we all know that Afghanistan had been a terrorized country, a place where the babies were treated so bad. And somehow it touched my heart.
yes.
And I don't know when all this was happening, and still, yet it's so bad. I wrote something on the innocence, the Afghan babies. It's so
Yeah.
shameful, yet it's so true. I'll just read out the poem. It's called Children of God, the Afghan Babies. In our prayers you live, the little souls so blue. Children of God, midst a crisis, ashamedly true. Over the barbed wires and fences, little Afghans are thrown. The world is quiet, uncertain future. Globe masters are flown. A war torn nation, most frightening to be. Fighting for a future, how will it ever be? In constant fear, a childhood is lost. The world of magic they all forgot. Refugees in a new country, safer to be. A lost childhood in running to be free. In our prayers you live, the little souls so blue.
This is
These are on
just,
the Afghans babies that I wrote.
this is just so, I mean, this is stark reality which we cannot escape, but really thoughtful, really touching words. We have a lot of people joining in with us, and Dr. Pooja Singh Sangaria, the founder of Kavya Foundation, she says this is thoughtful poetry and a lot of touching moments in it. Shilpi Chauhan says, so nice. We have Sachin Chaturvedi, the founder of Anuragyam. He's saying very touching words.
Thank
Inspiring
you.
moments and on your choice of topics. So once you take us to the meeting and then you bring us back to reality, which is just so hard. And thank you so much, ma'am. We will get back to you definitely. And beautiful thought about it is so much so real. And moving on to Suja ma'am. So this is a component graduate and deciding on board. He took to writing during the lockdown after a workshop, moved to write. It opened the gates of creativity, and then there has been no looking back. Expressing herself through her poetry is her passion. She has written on a variety of topics on nature, womanhood, and musings about life in general. Reading, mandala art, listening spending with friends are this her most. So a very long relationship with another man, and you come all the way from Bangalore. This is the best part about technology that you sit in the comfort of your drawing room, and then you get to meet so many people from all walks of life, from all parts of the world. In fact, so this is just definitely the.
Thank you so much, Nidhi and Dr. Pooja, for this platform. And right, as you rightly said, Nidhi, that is the beauty of the virtual world. We've just met today. We get connected through our writings, and I'm so happy to be here with Mishna, whom I so look forward. And I sincerely hope Surbhi Ma'am joins us soon. Yeah. So first, I would like to start with what poetry means to me. When I initially started writing, so I thought I would start with that. So, poetry is a journey of sorts, fueled by my train of thoughts. The ride is bumpy when I'm grumpy. It is euphoric when I'm in a comic mode. It's an art in motion to express my emotion. Writing poems sets me free from the thoughts that hold me. It is a canvas so colorful and bright that everything seems right. It is a sneak peek into myself, a book freak, who is at times so meek. Poetry is a release when I experience a sense of unease to keep my mind at peace. Thank you so much.
Beautiful,
So,
Suja.
thank
Wonderful. Loved
Thank
it.
you, sir, Mishna.
Yes.
So the next one would be Changing Times. This was one of the poems that I wrote during the lockdown, for a book. And this was published in an anthology called Changed Forever. So I'm reading this. Changing Times. The title is Changing Times. The year 2020 brought across changes aplenty in our perception and outlook of the things we for granted took. Classrooms and offices came home. People vacationed virtually in Paris and Rome. Zoom calls and Google Meets became the norm. Social media took our lives by storm. Socializing was a thing of the past. Social distancing, masks, and sanitizers were here to last. The die was cast. It was up to us to turn the tide in our favor, not remaining an outcast. Many things changed forever: relationships, education, and shopping, celebrations, playing, partying, and even pandal hopping. Babies to be nurtured in loving laps of moms and grannies were entrusted to the care of laptops minus the nannies. The parks and gardens looked bereft and forlorn as the children and adults were entrapped in the clutches of the virtual thorn. The past year has helped many look inside, shutting the cacophony from the din outside, reconnecting with passion, and adapting to the tech savvy times help them move ahead in spite of the melancholic chimes. The year 2021 brought with it a ray of hope along with the rising sun. The virus had indeed changed our lives for the better. Caring, sharing, and resilience have now become the trendsetter. So,
Maybe
this,
the fact
Wonderful.
and this is just so true. The pandemic actually brought a revolution in our thoughts. Revolution in the thought. Beautiful poetry says Dr. Susan Gangania. And so thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you very much.
thank you,
Very,
Nidhi.
very, a few words I would like to
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. Definitely, 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 phrases, very much flawed. You have got something, not me now. Not when I hang lonesome on a plastered wall. Not when I hang lonesome on a plastered wall. With a finger entwined. Next to us, speak into us. Let us speak next to us, speak into us. For season of love has not passed. Let us do away with all our wounds. Let us do away with all our wounds. All sanity is not lost. Let our misgivings melt. There exists much understanding. Love me now. Love me now. So this has time and leisure to think about ourselves, think about our relationship, and that is how we have learned a catastrophe. We needed a catastrophe to understand the meaning of the relationship. Thank you so much. And moving on to Rajpal Yadav sir saying that something is wrong with the voice. Need I be a bit louder or am I clear?
Now it's better. It was
Yes.
breaking in between when you were reciting. Now it's
Okay.
perfect.
All right. Thank you so much.
And like you rightly said, self-love is very important. I think a lot of us realize that during the lockdown with a lot of time to ponder and spend on ourselves.
Absolutely, absolutely. We would like to hear more from Sarmishta ma'am. And I was watching that Surabhi ma'am was trying relentlessly to join in, but you just never know what tricks these technology plays sometimes. So, Sarmishta ma'am, could we have you again? Ma'am, we are unable to hear you as of now. Are you on mute? Sarmishta ma'am, we are unable to hear your as of now.
I didn't get you. What you say?
Yes, please now you may
You're
continue.
Yeah, okay. All right, all right. So, my next poem is on love.
Yeah,
Now, love is all around us. We just have
absolutely.
to feel it and we can touch it, we can see it, okay? And when you have that special someone in your life, it's magic.
Yes, it's magic.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely.
So, my poem goes like this. It's
There,
called
I,
Canvas.
Sarvishta ma'am, I can see a blush in Sujaman's face. I just noticed that. He's a
Who's
pink.
Suja? You see, because I spoke the truth. That's why. And she
Exactly.
agrees.
Absolutely.
She
Absolutely.
agrees, hence.
So, even though I'm not wearing my face, but I can notice that, the change.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. Please go ahead.
Okay. It's called Canvas in Motion. To touch you is rejuvenation, my love. Your smile is my sunshine. You are my joy that keeps repeating your love through the grace sublime. There seems so little to be unhappy about, cause you are my moonshine too. You are the happiness I adore. You are the peace I retain.
Yeah.
Years go by, aeons we cross, canvas of life becomes touching the raindrops to paint my rainbow of emotions. Rainbow of love, the biggest arch. My sunshine and raindrops stay. With each stroke we glide, my love, canvas in motion plays.
Absolutely. Wow. I'm so
Lovely.
Thank you so much.
The rainbow of love is just a beautiful expression that you've used.
Absolutely.
Thank
She's painted the package all colorful, all red, roses,
Yeah,
pink.
yeah, yeah.
So beautiful, beautiful. Absolutely.
Love is so colorful. You agree to that? It's
And
colorful. Yeah.
actually, I wear colorful clothes, you know.
It's got all the colors of the rainbow.
Yes, we
Yes.
have Messengers sir being definition of true love. Wow. So every people are actually touched the three divas. Oh, wow. So we get this compliment, all three of us. Wonderful. Pooja Singh
Thank you
Sangrani.
so much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Pooja.
She's being very generous with her words. And so moving on to Pooja ma'am, what do you have in your kitty now? Since Sarnisha ma'am has already depicted love, and so
Yeah.
what do you have in your kitty now?
So I'm going to talk about somebody who inspired me. My grandma, she lived up to 98. And she was widowed at a young age, but the way she brought up her kids and the things that she taught us. So this is dedicated to her. Actually, I wrote it on Women's Day last year. So she's no more now. She passed away a couple of years back. So this is dedicated to her. The Wonder Woman, I've titled it. She comes into the world with a powerful cry, announcing her presence lest others fail to notice her. All through her life, at every milestone, she stops to pat her back and claps for herself, not waiting for others to acknowledge her feat. There's nothing she can't do better than her counterparts. Yet she never flaunts, rather takes a backseat and lets her deeds do the talking. She is the nurturer and caregiver of the family, giving birth to new mindsets. She's the nurturer and caregiver of the family, giving birth to new mindsets, uplifting others along the way, instilling strong bonds of connection amongst her tribe. She marches ahead with a spring in her step and her head held high, spraying the fragrance of positivity that blooms from her persona in the lives of everyone who crosses her path. She faces every examination, physical, academic, and mental, with equanimity and poise, and marches with her brood, proud of her failures, making them the stepping stones to success and to teach her little ones life's lessons. She takes part in every parade for a cause not so queer, but to cheer her near and dear. She looks beyond the limitations afflicted naturally or by circumstances and marches past the barriers right into their hearts. She doesn't wait for the year end to finalize her accounts and weigh the profits and losses. Rather, she counts her blessings and increases her net worth every single day, a very tangible asset in every sense of the term. She is the woman I look up to and the woman I aspire to be, marching ahead of her times, taking everything and everyone in her stride. Thank you.
Salutations to the entire group. It's just so inspiring. Really looking for
Yeah.
beautiful talent and
She was so ahead of her times. Although she used to wear a Navari entire life, she was in a village. She was so ahead of her times, her thought process, and so inspiring. Not a day I've seen her, sit with nothing to do and for so energetic, so inspired. She can talk to a 8-month old to an 8-year old in the same energy levels, and converse with them.
this is just so
And Suja, you said now proud of the failures. That's so
Yes,
important,
that
I
is what
love
he
that line.
Yeah,
Yes,
because she taught us that that is also a part of life. There's nothing to be ashamed of
absolutely.
it. It's okay if you don't know something. It's okay if you fail. Get up and
yes.
march ahead. We are
And
there.
failure is a stepping stone to
Stone.
success.
Exactly.
You
Exactly.
cannot but succeed without failures.
Exactly.
You
Call it
need
a
to
failure.
fail,
It's an experience.
Yeah, it's a
Definitely.
lesson.
Like, why call it a failure at all? It is
Yeah,
just
it's a lesson.
no failure. You never fail.
Yeah.
You never fail. You never learned how to fail. You only know
Yeah.
how
Yes.
to you know how to upgrade, excel, and update ourselves. Definitely. That is wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sabisha ma'am, you taught us as well. About the Pragati Narayana thing very well, Pooja ma'am. Also, the real life women struggles and the strength is motivated, sir. And there are so many messages, so many messages. Thank you so much, viewers. It's great. You all have been beautiful listeners, wonderful people. Any of you respect, I know this the emotions, especially when we get acceptance, when people feel it, definitely a big applause first. And thanks for all the appreciation. Thank you so much. And when Sarmisha ma'am spoke about love, she definitely touched the few strings in my heart. I'm going to say simply now. I'm trying to say uh,
Okay.
all
So,
all you love.
so should I read another poem?
I was trying to put forth,
Nidhi is reading an ode to love.
yeah, and
Okay,
also
sure, sure, definitely. I can't, you're not audible properly, your voice is like breaking. Yeah.
what I'm saying is that if I am not
Yeah,
audible
now
from
It's
it's perfect, Nidhi.
now it's
Yeah,
better.
perfect.
Yeah, yeah. I think sit a bit closer. Yeah.
you, is it okay? Right. It's us or nothing. You have a love song I stitched together. The countless candles on the celebratory cake. You and the aftershower, the serenity of the dark. You are the last I wish. You're the last wish I sleep with. The satisfaction I wake up to. You are a breathing memory, a 4 a.m. dream willing to be realized. Each time that you smile, it gets synchronized with mine. Your rippling silence has a calming effect on me. My calendar marks those days when we are together. Let's drink life to the leaves. Neat. Your silence speaks a thousand thoughts. I'm all ears. Often you have told me a thing or two, makes me believe I'm living too. I do not wish to see you on your knees. I do not wish to see you on your knees. Even if it were to propose me, there is a wild me surviving in the innocent you. Between all these dots and dashes, commas and full stops, exclamations and question marks, would you like to spend your life with me? Yeah. And what is your blood group? Mine? I'm love positive. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
That was
Uh,
wonderful.
thank you
Wonderful,
so
wonderful, wonderful ode to love. And I love
much.
that thing about I don't want to see you on your knees even to propose, Wonderful. Excellent thought. Lovely, lovely. Sarmisha, you're
Moving,
on mute.
yeah, moving on to Sarmishta ma'am once again. Can we have on your treasure?
But Nidhi, before
Yes,
that, I would like to appreciate you. I
uh,
love your writings, and I'll tell you why I like them. They are so practical, so down to earth. It's not so much of an imaginary in there. I just love it. Your each word carries so much of meaning. Beautiful. Just keep writing.
thank you so much,
Wonderful.
ma'am. It's such a blessing. This is such a blessing. I'm still in my toddler age and, writing poetry. And each blessing comes. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you so very much. And moving on to Sarmishta ma'am, once again, we would like to hear from you. You are on mute, ma'am. You are on mute.
Why is it slipping like this?
Okay, yeah. The host I guess is not able to hear
Okay,
you.
it's all right. Yeah, right. Okay. So it's on Smile. It's called Smile, a Wonder Unfolds. A smile is happiness, peace, and love. A feel good from head to toe. A smile can give, a smile receives. A friend do turn from a foe. Relieving stress, elevating the mood. A smile does make a day, radiating warmth and confidence glowing. It's sunshine all the way. Let's all smile, keep worries away. For a safer new world, come, let's all pray. So, smile is so important, you know.
Absolutely,
I mean,
absolutely.
yeah. Somehow smile becomes a habit. When you believe in it, it becomes a habit with you.
Yes, yes. And automatically the other person is forced to
Yes.
respond, you know. You feel
It's
so
just,
good. Many times when
yes.
you enter a lift and the elders are hesitant, but when a child smiles at you, you automatically,
Yes.
whatever is your mood, you respond, you know, with a smile.
Start reciprocating. The smile is always reciprocating.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
is one thing I would like to share with all of you. That
Yeah.
I was having breathing issues. So each morning I used to get up, I said, maybe smile, smile. Even if I was not feeling, even there was no reason to smile, I used to smile wide. Smile,
Yes.
happy, open my eyes wide, and believe me, this BP issue started, dissolving, and it started sliding off. So I used to open my eyes wide and smile, brow, absolutely. So, I mean, smile, it really works, it really works. And definitely, it increases your face value. That goes right now. One little question, a quick question to both of you, beautiful, gorgeous ladies. Tell us about a compliment that you have received and you remember it all and it brings a smile to your face. Share us a compliment that you received which always brings a smile to your face. Pooja ma'am,
Are
we
you
would like
asking?
to hear from you. I'm asking you.
Yeah.
We cannot hear you, Pooja ma'am. We are unable to
I'm an
hear you.
educator, so when the kids come in the morning with their fresh faces, just give me a hug and say, "Ma'am, you
Wow.
look beautiful." However you are, you know. So it doesn't matter whether you've blow dried your hair, you've braided it, or however you. The morning they see you in the morning, they wish you good morning and say, "You look beautiful. How was your day?" So that is fantastic, you know. Right from the heart, there's nothing attached to it, and that is the best compliment from kids, my students that I receive. I really appreciate it.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Sarvishta ma'am, can we hear it from you?
Yeah, I think the best compliment I got is that when I was told that I could be trusted.
Ah, oh, wow. That's actually a
Yes.
beautiful thing to say, and definitely. I mean, this is such a huge thing, such a huge compliment. Wow.
Because you know something, I believe that there are echelons in life. You
Absolutely.
see, when you share your secrets,
Mm-hmm.
when you're building that bond, it becomes very strong.
Very strong. Yes,
And then you
absolutely.
become good friends. Then joy and happiness comes in. And then
Absolutely.
there is peace. And once you have that peace in life, you achieve the ultimate. So these are
Absolutely.
the echelons, if you follow, I think trust forms a very important part of your life.
So,
If
viewers, we have a very trustworthy person here. You can share your secrets and be assured that they will never be miscarried.
Thank
Absolutely, that's a beautiful thing to say, and absolutely, I would agree to it. That's a huge, huge compliment and a huge thing to be to say to anyone. And Mrityunjay sir says, smile every time, every moment, every situation. That's a wonderful thing. Yes, sir, absolutely. And Suja ma'am, could we hear another piece of poetry from you?
taking off from where Sarmishta told that everybody trusted her, and you said you can share any secret. So the next title of my poem is going to be Secret. I picked out that to recite, taking off from where you left it off.
What's the next one?
So it is an acrostic poem, meaning I've all the paragraphs have the first letters of the word SECRET. There are four paragraphs. So here it goes. She turned scarlet. Everyone knew her secret. Concealed behind the glares, rolling eyes and stares. Everyone fled. Tears unknown she shed. Stuck in the closet for years, every minute suffocating. Coming out in the open remained a dream. Each day that passed by was gloomy. The only ray of hope was Rumi. Secretly wishing for a world encapsulated only with love, compassion, empathy, and acceptance remained her only hope. Emerging from the shadow, there she was, a beautiful rainbow, serenaded by the blue sky, enveloped in a warmth up so high, colorful and radiant, reveling in a true self. Eventually, she realized, entrapped in the mold, there are many stories like hers waiting to be untold.
Wonderful.
About secret, yeah, me to something like Sarmishta ma'am. So,
Nidhi, your voice is breaking again.
Can't make out what you're saying.
Nidhi, your voice is.
I think I need to learn sign language now. But
Yeah, now it's clear. Now I think you should hold on to this position. Now it's clear.
okay, no, I should be understood.
Yeah.
Like, see, none of us want us to see out to the scared, and we all need a person like Sarmishta ma'am who can help us with us. And moving
Yes.
on, wonderful piece, ma'am. Thank you so much. Your her is so sweet and he's such a wonderful listener. You can really nice her. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And taking it further.
Pardon?
This is okay, let's not reveal the topic. At the end of the poetry, you will get to know what I'm talking about. As I float 2 inches above the ground, as I floated 2 inches above the ground, trees and people, I saw many things. The moon, the ocean, the same, and river. All those who cared, loved, and despised me gathered in my praise. I watched in peace. In my newfound revelation, the invisible humps, their differences melting away. I was a pure soul. Having done so little, I felt emotionally deficient, intolerable, impulsive, irrational that I was. I was forgiven. Wished I had practiced a little more endurance. Wished I was a giving soul. Dreamt a little longer. Held a little tighter. Just 1 minute, this screen refusing. Held a little tighter. Suddenly, I hear a voice. Your toast got burnt, your shirt a little creased, your coffee bitter dark. Can you excuse me, please? I held that frail figure close to mine. Let me see you again. Everything is fine. She quizzed into my eyes. Sorry, they were. Leave those glitches. We will manage them together. And it is after you wake up from a dream that you are already detached from your body and you reached a soul, and then you realize that you actually had so much more to do and you did nothing. So you become even more, sympathetic towards life, sympathetic towards your feelings. And so when we get into the reality that no, we have so much more to do, and why not? Now is the time. So this is my poetry on let's Let's live up the moment. Let's live up to each. Let's live up to our present, and why not? Forget about future and like yesterday. What happened? So let's live up to the moment now. Thank you so much, ladies. We have been trying to get Surbi Man, but unfortunately, it is our, our to our disadvantage that we cannot have Surbi Man right now. So, could we have yet another round of poetry, ma'am? Sarmishta, ma'am, could we have another round of poetry?
Sure. See, Suja spoke about colors and rainbow. It was so beautiful. So let me talk about a color called cyan. You know the
Oh,
color, the cyan color. It's
uh,
beautiful, It's almost that sea green.
yes. If you see the color, the strip on which the names are flashed, I think that is the color, Sayan, that you're talking about, right?
It's that greenish, bluish, that beautiful tinge. And
Yes.
each color has a meaning. It holds something. It could be positive, negative. So, cyan, the hue so spectacular. A gorgeous color, the cyan, they say. A fresh tint of the lagoon on a bright sunny day. The beautiful hue between blue and green, the color most precious that you have ever seen. Of spiritual openness and clarity, it sings. Alertness with a feel good that it brings. Protective, calming, it chants only good. Cold, distant, or empty, it never should. So cyan is a color which always projecting calmness, and it has got a spiritual link to it. And that's the color we see, as we call it, as a sea green color.
Yeah, yeah. The moment you said sign, I went to the beach actually, where you see, nature in its pristine form
Its
actually.
pristine form, actually,
With the
cyan is that color.
shells. Yeah, yeah,
Yes.
yeah, yeah.
Dr.
Beautiful.
Pooja Tanya says, what an observation. And Nikunj sir says, superb. This is actually a very different kind of a definition. First time I've heard about it. So, I mean, this is like so educating. Actually, I stand educated on this regard. And this is such a wonderful definition. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for
Thank
helping
you.
us. Suja, ma'am, we could have something from you.
One thing I want to tell Nidhi here is this, that, we all are writers. We have to be very observant and we have to be
Ab-
very appreciative.
Absolutely,
Once we
absolutely.
have these two qualities, this actually helps us to understand better other
Better.
people, nature, everything.
Uh,
Observation is a must.
Absolutely, ma'am. Absolutely. Observation is important. And the appreciation part when you say, for me,
It's very important.
it's a very tough thing. You
Yeah.
might a person, but you might not express it in words. I mean, it's an egoistic thing also. Sometimes people say, oh wow, why should I praise? Appreciating the other person is something very, it's a very difficult thing, a very tricky thing. And I think we should be very, liberal in our appreciation. And trust me, I mean, it always comes back. It always comes back in a good way. And a little appreciation never hurts anyone. I think so. I strongly believe in that.
And Nidhi, one thing I don't understand, I mean, this is the human psyche, that you feel so happy when you're appreciated. So why
Absolutely.
don't you appreciate?
Exactly, exactly. If you
I
are
mean, it's as
reciprocal,
simple as this. Why don't you appreciate people?
Yeah, I so agree with you, Sarmishta. Observation
Yeah.
is something that is so important, and appreciation actually that works as the impetus to, further growth for anything, anybody, not only writers. I think right from a
Yes,
child to an adult,
absolutely. Yes.
appreciation in the small, small things actually goes a long way, and it's a very good quality to be developed actually.
Yes.
And you don't lose anything by appreciating somebody. Rather, you give happiness to the other person and it comes back to you.
Hmm.
So
Like they say, now praise is wage.
yes.
yes,
You're earning something, when you're
Yeah,
praising
yeah,
somebody.
yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Absolutely. So, my next poem will be being an educator. I had a special child in my class. I was working in an inclusive school. So, this poem was two poems I've written. One is called Jump, about the child, and the next one was for parents, how they used to react when they come to my for the parent teacher interactions and all that. So, both these I wanted to go as a couplet, one to understand from a child's point of view, and next is to the parent how they should be. Yeah. So the first one is called jump. So flitting from one desk to another like a butterfly, sprinkling his cheer and charm on everybody. Nothing could bind him to his seat, for he was the jumping jack of the class. Full of energy and vigor, never letting go of an opportunity to move around. Diagnosed with ADHD at an early age, he was hyperactive, always on the go. He preferred jumping to sitting. His reflexes were quicker than his wit. He had no control whatsoever over the reactions it caused in others. Tired of the apathy meted out, he stopped expecting others to understand him. More often than not, they seem to jump to conclusions regarding his IQ and EQ, rarely making an effort to try out his shoes. Suddenly, when a hand stretched out, extending friendship, he jumped with joy and clapped his hands, for that was the only way he knew to express himself. All was well in the world of a jumping jack. It's these small acts of kindness that make their world bright and happy. So let's jump at the next opportunity to pay attention to their quirks instead of dismissing them with a smirk.
Wonderful.
So
So
this is
heartfelt and,
yeah, this is, I actually, I used to feel so sad of how others will not understand. We educate so much, we take time to educate the kids to be inclusive, and they are fantastic at it. It is the adults who need to unlearn and change their mindsets, is what I feel at every interaction I have with parents. And the next poem is after a series of this actually Surbhi ma'am knows about it after listening to some of her parenting talks and my experience with the parents of the kids I interact with. I wrote this. So it is called Raise your hand, not to strike the child, but to strike out the anger wild. Raise your voice, not to show your might, but to speak up for what is right. Raise your bar, not to ace the rat race, but to meet failure and success with grace. Raise your child, not to fit into a mold, but to let the beauty unfold. Raise your child, not to be a part of the general uproar, but let him shine from the inner core. Raise yourself not to look down upon others, but to give them feathers to float, to fly, and to soar. So this was something I wanted to literally shout and tell to every parent, don't compare, let them be, let them be, let them be.
I would like to say something very true that you said that we parents need to unlearn because
yes.
Exactly.
exactly that is something very we are already know 9% anything. We as parents are self-healing. We need to unlearn. The children and very hard lesson. It is just so wonderful. We all parents, as parents, we should all adhere to this piece of advice, definitely. And talking about, I take this privilege of taking my piece with you. And yes, I'm audible now. Okay. ऑल राइट सो आलोक रंजन जी कहते हैं बेहतरीन शानदार और बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो आप सभी को और आप बहुत ही अच्छे श्रोता हैं आप सभी, और इतने इतने गुड विशेस और कॉम्प्लीमेंट्स आ रहे हैं। ये एक बहुत बड़ा एक ग्रेट सेशन राजपाल यादव जी कहते हैं, जो कि हमारे एक ही इज द फाउंडर मेंबर ऑफ कवर कॉर्नर फाउंडेशन, एंड ही इज फेयरली इम्प्रेस्ड विद द सेशन। एंड पीयूष राजा जी कहते हैं ऑसम। So wow, thank you so much, sir. Thank you all of you. And now I would like to present my inner peace in front of all the audience. I love being hated. I love being hated, loathed, scorned upon. The doors of my inner peace knocked at, banged, banged with anger, uncontrolled, savage. I stay calm. I stay calm, quiet, composed. There may be times I might weaken, shedding invisible tears of sorrow. I sit there, consoling those innocent droplets of despair. I caress them, dry them. In that small room opens a smaller window, letting out pain and resentment. I give them wings, wings to fly, fly away to no man's land, and come back never. I gather my strength, feeling my heartbeat one more time, conscience sublime and clear, smiling innocently. The banging now gradually fading, phasing out, their pleas falling to deaf ears, frustration rebound, royally ignored, reluctantly limping back. I conquer my fears, criticisms, an aura of peace and serenity now prevails. I emerge victorious. I am a happy soul. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, ma'am.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Thank you,
The
ma'am.
the last few lines were especially awesome, you know. If you started with hatred and, you know, I hate myself. So I was thinking, lovely, lovely, lovely. Beautiful.
I like to write anticlimaxes actually. I take you somewhere and then I love writing that way. So thank you so much, ma'am. And Surbhi ma'am was terribly missed by all of us, and we were just hoping that she would join in. But nevertheless, we had a wonderful session, and I hope all our viewers were mesmerized in it's definitely a royalty. Once again, we thank our esteemed guests, Sharmisha ma'am and Surya ma'am, for being with us on Kavya Corner Foundation, celebrating their anniversary week. And thank you so much to Dr. Pooja Singh Gangania and her entire team. Once again, wishing them all the best for all their endeavors in future. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Nidhi, and thanks to all the viewers who've been encouraging, so encouraging with their covers. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Thank
Had a
you.
wonderful time, Nidhi. It was beautiful.